Magandang umaga sa inyo lahat. Well, I'm just practicing my Tagalog because it is now recognized as the fastest growing language in Canada as per the recent study from Statistics Canada. Hi, I'm Eric Angelo. Join me for another exciting and pleasurable round of BrunchTV.
You see them everywhere, and they're growing in numbers. They're the fastest growing non-European ethnic group in Canada. Today, we'll get to know more about them in our special feature on the Pinoy Canadians. Remember Pilita Corrales, the Asia's Queen of Songs, whom we featured in a recent episode? Well, she's from Cebu, the Philippines' Queen City of the South. Today, we will also travel all the way to Cebu and explore that fascinating city. Plus, our usual servings of showbiz on the latest and juiciest from the entertainment scene. People, places, happenings, interesting, exciting, and colorful features and stories. This is BrunchTV.
Today, we will be looking at a mirror of ourselves. What do I mean? We will be focusing on an ethnic group of immigrants who have become a vibrant part of Canadian society. I'm talking about you and me, who are proud to be called Pinoy Canadians.
Look who are now one of the fastest growing non-European ethnic groups in Canada. They are the Filipino Canadians, or Filcans. In fact, Filcans are the third largest Asian Canadian group next to Indian and Chinese communities, growing considerably faster than the overall population. Greater Toronto area alone is home to the largest Filipino community in Canada, who are concentrated in the municipalities immediately outside of Toronto or in Toronto itself. Scarborough, North York, and East York in Toronto continue to be popular settling places for Filipinos, while the municipalities of Mississauga, Brampton, Markham, Vaughan, Pickering, Ajax, Richmond Hill, and Oakville are becoming increasingly popular destinations. With the increasing population of Filipinos in Canada, it's not surprising that Tagalog is now recognized as the fastest growing language in Canada.
I agree that the Tagalog is the fastest growing language in Canada because our population here is growing. The immigrants that are coming in as professionals, as skilled workers, even the contract workers and the caregivers. The population of the caregivers is growing because of the older population that needs care. In fact, it should be more if only the Filipinos have only one language or dialect. But then again, we are divided into regions like the Pangasinan, the Tagalog, the Ilocano, the Cebuanos, and we have more than 300 dialects in the Philippines. And the fact is that we speak Tagalog in our houses, in our gatherings, and our children are trying to learn to speak Tagalog, even teaching their husbands and wives when they get married with other ethnic groups. They're teaching them Tagalog, and our children are trying to learn Tagalog as well.
According to the 2011 language census done by Statistics Canada, approximately 279,000 of Canadian residents prefer to speak Tagalog than other languages at home. It is now the fifth most commonly spoken language among immigrant families in Canada, behind Chinese and Punjabi languages.
Ang Pinoy is intelligent, number one, resourceful, masipag, mostly are educated, ganon. At saka pagdating dito, competitive, hindi pa dadaig. Marami na rin ang Pinoy dito. So, most of the time, Tagalog yung conversation natin, di ba? Yun ang ano. Kaya, fast-growing yung Tagalog dialect. At saka, yung ibang lahi, parang curious sila to learn also our language. Ganon. Kaya, naiintindihan nila, pati yung mga employers, di ba? Ganon. They really want to adapt our language.
Bilis yung pagdami ng mga Pilipino dito sa Canada. We cannot hindi natin siya maikakaila, right? At saka, we're happy to speak our own language though we know how to speak English, right? And when we are with our own co-Filipino, we're happy to speak our own language, considering that you know how to speak English though, and also you know how to speak some other languages. So, iba talaga kapag you speak your own language. You can easily express what you want to say, your emotions and everything. So, yun, maybe that's why even whenever we go, we cannot avoid speaking our own language. Although sometimes we have to, and sometimes often we forgot to like, there is other people, other nationality that around us that was listening on our conversation, but we still speak Tagalog though. Though we need to speak English.
Also, in the recently released Statistic Canada Report, it is showing that Canadian immigrants continue to experience lower employment rates than the general population. Both Canadian-born residents and immigrants saw their employment rate fall between 2008 and 2011 by 1.8 and 1.2 percentage points respectively. However, even with the uncertainty in our economy, still, immigrants from the Philippines buck the trend by registering the highest employment rate of any group in Canada at 85.6%.
I'm happy that the Statistics Canada is saying that we are the most employed people because most of us came for our families, our children, and we always work hard for them. Dito, walang hiya-hiya basta kung paano ka makakabuhay ng pamilya mo. Because that is the first priority. And yet, we adapt to the situations, we look for jobs, we are very resourceful when it comes to looking for the best job for our family.
What's with the Filipinos? In almost every part of the world, Filipinos are making their mark.
Tayo mga Pilipino, karamihan sa atin, hard worker, no? Masipag at saka maasahan. Siyempre, yun ang may pagmamalaki natin.
One reason why Philcans are thriving has something to do with the language. Analysis done by Citizenship and Immigration Canada in the past have found that proficiency in French or English plays a big factor in employment and economic success for immigrants. With this norm, Filipinos are ahead of the game. Teaching English side by side with Tagalog in the school curriculum in the Philippines makes a huge difference.
We study and speak English already, even in elementary and high school. We speak better English. That is one of the reasons why we can adapt in Canada very easily.
The decision to leave the country, whether alone or with your family, is not simple. Most of the time, parents have already established their career, but the pursuit of a better future will drive them to make the choice and take the risks. Rodel Ramos, the author of the book entitled The Search of a Future, The Struggle of Immigrants, talks about the values and traits of Filipinos.
I tried to study what is happening to the Filipino community here, and I correlate it to their past, the history of the Filipinos, and their values, the pride of the Filipinos. Why should we be proud as a people? We have so many heroes. The legacy of these heroes are within us. We are a well-educated people. We are successful as a family. As individuals, we are very successful. And yet the problem is, why is it that we are not successful as a community, as a one group? The unity has been very elusive. If only the leaders of the community would focus on more important things, important projects, our people can be more productive and united. The young generation now of Filipinos are very progressive, and yet they are not boasting that they're like this and like that. But you would see them in executive positions in a lot of companies, and that is our plus. Because we can easily adapt and the language barrier is not there. We are hardworking, resilient, and we are positive always. You see Filipinos laugh a lot. They look at the positive ways and they have strong faith in God. That's why they surmount all difficulties and problems.
Adversity pays off. Meet Mel Galeon, the man behind the success of FV Foods. Let's hear his story.
Dumating ako dito sa Canada noong 1998 bilang working permit. Nag-work ako sa CNE as food vendor ng Mabuhay Philippines kasi yun ang 100 years ng ng Philippines noon, tayo ang feature country noon ng CNE sa Let's Go to the X. Kaya ako po isa sa delegates from Quezon Province na dumating dito sa Toronto na para magbenta ng mga Philippine product, pero ang dala ko ay mga foods, especially po mga ubi halaya, mga pastillas, yung mga broas ng Quezon. Yan ang mga dala ko rito nung dumating ako sa Toronto. Kaya nung nakita ko na kung paano tinangkilik ng mga kababayan natin yung mga pagkain Pilipino, parang sabik na sabik sila sa pagkain na yun. Kaya nung time na yun, kaya nag-isip akong maganda itong negosyo walang araw. Pero napakahirap magsimula. Nag-caregiver ako, nag-apply ako sa mga agency para magkaroon makapagtrabaho. Naglinis din ako ng mga opisina, pero talagang hindi ako talaga pinapalad na tumagal sa trabaho na yun. Kaya naisipan kong magluto-luto ng mga kakanin. Pinagpatuloy ko lang yun, ang mga pagluluto, pagdi-deliver sa mga Filipino store. Basta trabaho lang ako ng trabaho. Hindi na ako umasa kung saang ibang trabaho. Basta mabuhay lang ako nung time na yun, okay lang sa akin. Kumita ng konti, kumain, makabayad sa apartment. Kasi wala naman akong sasakyan, kaya nagsasabay lang ako para dalhin yung mga product sa mga Filipino store. Kaya sinasabay ko yan, kahit winter, kahit summer, especially winter, may dala akong kariton. Talagang para akong bagman na dala-dala, hindi ako nahihiya, wala akong pakialam sa mga tao. Ginawa ko yung mga deliver na yun ay mga almost 1 year. Tapos nakilala ko nga si Flor. Si Flor ang bali tumulong sa akin sa pagdi-deliver ng mga product. Ako'y sinusundo niya sa bahay, sa apartment ko para i-deliver sa mga Filipino store. Tapos sa gabi, meron din ako mga racket, yung nag-DDI ako nung time na yon. Ayun, isang another income ko rin yun. Lahat ng trabaho na pwede kong trabahuhin, gawin, pagkakitaan, ginagawa ko lahat. After mga 2 years, through help ni Flor, marami na ako nagdidistributan. Tapos ginagawa ko lang ang mga produkto sa bahay, sa isang apartment. Alam naman natin na bawal talaga magluto sa mga apartment. Kaya naisip namin ni Flor na kumuha ng isang maliit na space. Nakishare kami sa isang kitchen. Kasi lumaki din yung aking mga dinidistributan, hindi lang sa Pilipino. Nag-try din ako magdala sa mga Chinese na uti-uti. Nag-upa na kami ng sarili namin dun din sa kalapit na unit ng aming pinuntahan na yun. Tapos hanggang sa naging 2 unit, lumaki ng lumaki. Naka 5 years kami sa Manville. Nag-start kami magkaroon ng formal na store is 2003 sa Mississauga, sa 1125 Landas. Tapos ng 2005, naglagay rin kami ng isang store, grocery, and mga bakery stop at saka mga kakanin namin ng 2005 sa 757 Warden. Sumunod noon, nagbukas kami dito sa Batters. Nagbukas kami ng St. Clair, Dapirin, tapos ngayon yung bubuksan namin na 2085 Lawrence Avenue.
Different stories to share, different experiences to tell, determination, perseverance. Filipinos are known to be a doer, a worker. In spite of being in a strange environment, the Filipino knows how to adapt, yet his cultural values remain. Not every Filipino may have a success story, but there's one thing that each of them can be proud of. They don't turn their back. Instead, they continue to strive in the face of challenges.
Indeed, the Pinoy Canadians, like Filipinos everywhere in the world, will always find a way to swim with the tide in the storms and still be on top of the wave. Why? Because of that built-in festive spirit, as you will see in our next segment, as we visit the Queen City of the Southern Philippines.
Be equipped with standard knowledge and skills. Be a frontline healthcare career worker. Ontario Healthcare Academy. Your home, your mentor, your future. 5359 Dundas Street West, Suite 200, Etobicoke, Ontario. With telephone number 416-236-7277.
Dentistry at Cooksville. Dental care for the whole family. Dentistry at Cooksville. Located at 47 Dundas Street West, Mississauga, Ontario. Telephone number 905-277-2400.
If the Queen is the second most important piece on the chessboard next to the King, and if Manila is the Philippines' King City, which then is the Queen City? That could only mean Cebu. which is considered to be the second most important city in the Philippines next to Manila. But some say, considering its many firsts, Cebu should be the premier city of the Philippines. I don't know about that, but let's suspend our judgment first and watch this segment on Cebu City.
"600 kilometers south of Manila. Right in the heart is Cebu City. Hailed as the Queen City of the South, it is the center of Metro Cebu, which is composed of the cities of Lapu-Lapu, Mandaue, Naga, and Talisay. Here, Magellan planted the cross, making it the first Christian settlement in the country. But it was also in Cebu that the early Filipinos put up their first heroic resistance to foreign colonization. Led by Lapu-Lapu, the courageous chieftain of Mactan, the Filipino warriors repulsed the advance of the Spaniards and took the life of Magellan. Under Spanish rule, Cebu became the country's first city, ahead of Manila by 7 years. This premier southern city is the birthplace of Christianity in the Philippines and may disputably be the first place in Asia ever to be touched by the cross. A visit to the following sites would impart a better appreciation of how these religious relics have shaped the culture and destiny of the Philippines. Upon landing in Cebu in 1521, Magellan is said to have planted this cross on this very spot in downtown Cebu. This subsequently became the most famous place in the country, as it was here where the first Christian Filipinos were baptized, which includes Raha Humabon and his wife, Queen Juana. Located a few paces away from Magellan's Cross in downtown Cebu is the Basilica Minore del Santo Nino, the city's oldest church, which is considered as the only Roman Catholic basilica in the Far East. This church, which is constructed of hewn stone, serves as a sanctuary of the Santo Nino image that was given to Queen Juana in 1521 by Ferdinand Magellan. Other old structures include Fort San Pedro, the oldest yet smallest fort, San Carlos University, the oldest school, and Colon Street, the oldest avenue in the country. Known for its excellently crafted guitars, bandurria, piccolo, and other stringed instruments, Cebu's economy is powered by the entrepreneurial spirit of its people, whose small and medium enterprises push the city to the front lines of progress. Cebu is as cosmopolitan as Manila. It offers a wide variety of choices, from local tropical fruits to high-end spas for health and wellness. It has also world-class golf courses, hotels, and shopping malls, as well as several restaurants offering the hungry visitors a pretty wide range of local and international flavors. Cebu at night is the place to be. While Cebu might be a modern metropolis, it has retained much of its natural allure that continues to attract tourists from all over the world. It offers the nature's lover an adventurous trek through the jungles and rivers on the outskirts of the city, or a climb up the mountain trails and an exciting rappel down its deep gorges, as well as magnificent white sand beaches and crystalline waters, splendid diving spots to attract sea-loving visitors. But what draws people even more is a unique festival that occurs every third Sunday of January. This is the Sinulog Festival. The festival commemorates the Visayan people's pagan origin and their acceptance of Roman Catholicism. The Sinulog celebration lasts for 9 days, culminating on the final day with the Sinulog Grand Parade. The day before the parade, the fluvial procession is held at dawn, with a statue of the Santo Nino carried on a pump boat from Mandaue City to Cebu City, decked with hundreds of flowers and candles. In the afternoon, a more solemn procession takes place along the major streets of the city, which lasts for hours due to large crowd participating in the event. The main feature is a street parade with participants in bright-colored costumes dancing to the rhythm of drums, trumpets, and native gongs. The word Sinulog comes from the Cebuano adverb sulog, which roughly means like water current movement. It describes the forward-backward movement of the Sinulog dance. To this day, the 2 steps forward, 1 step backward movement is still used by Santo Nino devotees. The dance is done to the beat of the drums. A popular theme among Sinulog dances is Queen Juana holding the Santo Nino in her arms and using it to bless her people who are often afflicted by sickness caused by demons and other evil spirits. Today, Sinulog has become one of the country's biggest festivals and is the city's top tourist draw. It is only fitting that the Sinulog was inspired by a queen's dance, for Cebu City indeed has the poise and the moves of a queen.
After watching that festive feature on Cebu City, I'm beginning to understand why some people believe Cebu should be the premier city of the Philippines. But if you ask me, Cebu is truly queenly. When we come back, we're going to give you a rundown of celebrities who are going to try their luck in the upcoming Philippine election. So don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
Body Bliss, your specialist in beauty and wellness. Ikaw ay laging alaga mula ulo hanggang paa. Body Bliss, alagang kapamilya. Located at 1929 Leslie Street, Toronto, with telephone number 416-224-9900. Bodybliss.ca.
Dentistry at Cooksville. Dental care for the whole family. Dentistry at Cooksville. Located at 47 Dundas Street West, Mississauga, Ontario. Telephone number 905-277-2400.
It's election time again in the Philippines, and as in the past, a lot of celebrities will be trying their luck in the world of politics. Let's watch who among your idols are on the list.
Celebrities try their luck in politics. As national and local elections in the Philippines draw near, a lot of celebrities will try their luck in politics. Joey Marquez will run for congressman of Paranaque, while ex-wife Alma Moreno is seeking re-election as councilor of the same city. Aga Mulak is running for congressman of Camarines Sur, while Juan Bondok for Batan. The feisty Annabel Rama is running for Congress for the North District of Cebu. Incumbent Sarangani Representative Congressman Manny Pacquiao is seeking re-election, while his wife, Jinky, is running for Vice Governor of the same province. Trying another go for public office is veteran action star and ex-president Joseph Erap Estrada, who will run for mayor in Manila. Running with him is actor Isko Moreno, who is the current Manila Vice Mayor. Incumbent Vice Governor of Laguna, Daniel Fernando, is running for re-election. So is Ormoc City Representative Lucy Torres Gomez. Jolo Revilla, son of Senator Bong Revilla, and Representative Lani Mercado, is seeking for the vice gubernatorial seat in Cavite. Also invading politics is singer Imelda Papin, who is seeking for the congressional seat in Bulacan. Character actor Rez Cortez is running for Congress in a different district in Camarines Sur. Seeking for a senatorial seat for the first time is former censors chief and daughter of Fernando Poe Jr. and Susan Rosas, Grace Poe Lamanzares. Singer Victor Wood is also a senatorial aspirant. Aiming for a higher political position as congressman are Quezon City Councilor Alfred Vargas, Batangas board member Christopher De Leon, and Valenzuela Councilor Shalani Soledad Romulo. Batangas Governor Vilma Santos, Laguna Governor E.R. Ejercito, Quezon City Mayor Herbert Bautista, Pagsanhan Mayor Maita Sanchez, Bacoor Mayor Strike Revilla are all re-electionists. Richard Gomez, who in 2010 was disqualified from the race as Ormoc City Representative because of residency rule, will run for mayor of Ormoc. Gary Estrada and Angelica Jones will both seek for re-election as board members in Laguna. Joko Diaz is making his political debut by running as board member in Batangas. Aiming for higher public office are Manila Councilor Lou Veloso, who will run as vice mayor. Rizal Governor Junjun Linares will run for mayor in Antipolo City, and former Caloocan City Mayor Ray Malonzo, who will try to make it as Manila Vice Mayor. Tito Soto, Lauren Lagarda, and Chiz Escudero will run again for the Senate, while San Juan City Representative J.V. Ejercito will also aim for the Senate. Anjo Iliana will go back to politics and will run for councilor in Quezon City, while his brother, Ryan Iliana, will run for councilor in Paranaque. Also running as councilors are Gestonia Larcon in Antipolo, Robert Ortega in Manila, Marjorie Barreto in Caloocan, Roderick Paulate in Quezon City, and Mansour Del Rosario in Makati. The question now, who will you vote?
Well, I know you still want more, and don't worry, we'll give you more. Just stay tuned to Brunch TV. Now, before we go, I'd like to take some time to read some of the emails we've received from our buddies watching us. Thank you for your comments and feedback. We would now like to take some time to read some of those emails to you. Marissa of North York writes, I'm a caregiver here in Toronto. I watched the episode about the caregiver and I was touched by the story of the girl wearing the mask. Congratulations, po sa inyong show. Brandon of Scarborough writes, I've seen your show on Rogers TV and I like the treatment of your show. I hope you can feature a story about the Filipino youth here in Canada. Keep up the good work. Rochelle of Mississauga writes, I've seen your show where your show host speaks Tagalog and I enjoyed it. I saw myself in him, LOL. But he's so cute and lovable. Is he a Filipino too? Of course I'm a Filipino. If you too have some suggestions, comments, or topics you would like us to feature, email us at brunchtv@yahoo.com. Like us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/brunchtv or tweet us, twitter.com/brunchtv. Hope to see you again on our next episode of Brunch TV. This has been your brunch buddy, Eric Angelo. Till next time.